You're in the kitchen, keys in your hand, halfway out the door to meet your friends. 10 minutes ago you asked, "You good if I go?" She smiled and said, "Sure." Then the cabinet closes a little too hard. Later that night she barely looks at you. The next day, one-word answers. When you ask what's wrong, she says, "Nothing. I said it was fine." That's the trap. You can feel the hostility. You can hear it in the sigh, the silence, the sharp little edge in the room. But the second you call it out, you become the problem. Too sensitive, too defensive, reading into it. So what do you do when something is obviously happening and nobody will admit it? Passive-aggressive behavior is indirect hostility with built-in deniability. It's anger through the side door, not a clear complaint, not open conflict. It shows up as sarcasm, forgetting, backhanded compliments, chronic lateness, icy politeness, sullen compliance, the silent treatment, and then denial when you respond. That denial is why it works. You notice something real. They deny it. Then you start doubting your own read. That loop will mess with your head if you let it. A lot of men struggle here because you were trained to tolerate discomfort to keep the peace. So you tell yourself, "Don't make this bigger than it is." Or, "Maybe I'm overreacting." Sometimes that's maturity. A lot of the time, it's conflict avoidance wearing a respectable suit. Think about Dave. He's been at the same company for 6 years. His coworker keeps saying, "Happy to help, man," then misses deadlines and says he got buried. Dave keeps covering for him because he doesn't want to look difficult. So the project slips, Dave gets stressed, and the coworker keeps his clean image. Or Marcus at dinner. His mother says, "I'm sure your new girlfriend is wonderful for someone like you." Marcus goes quiet, because if he pushes back, she'll say, "I was complimenting you." Now he leaves irritated, ashamed, and somehow guilty for noticing the insult. Sound familiar? This is why passive aggression is so corrosive. It punishes directness and rewards hesitation. And when you don't address it, you start living in a fog. You replay conversations. You scan tone, texts, facial expressions. You become a detective in your own life, trying to prove what your gut already knows. Then resentment builds. Your partner's silence makes you anxious in your own home. Your coworker's support creates more work for you. Your friend who is always late keeps sending the same message. Your time matters less. And the deeper cost is self-respect. Every time you swallow what's obvious, you teach yourself that clarity is dangerous. Relationships don't get healthier from that. They get more dishonest. So let me give you the approach that actually works. I call it the mirror response. You do not beat passive aggression by getting louder. You beat it with calm, direct language that reflects the behavior back without mind reading. Like a laser level on a crooked wall. You're not attacking, you're revealing what's there. The first move is simple. Mirror the observable behavior. Name what you can see or hear, not what you think they meant. You say, "You said you were fine with it, but you've been distant since I got back." Or, "You agreed to help, and the last 2 deadlines were missed." Or, "That sounded like a jab, not a compliment." Notice what you're doing. You're describing facts, not motives. That matters because the minute you claim to know their intent, the conversation turns into a courtroom. And yes, expect denial. No, I'm fine. You're reading into it. That's not what I meant. Your response is calm and steady. I'm not telling you your intent. I'm telling you what I'm seeing and how it landed. Then you make the second move. You invite directness. You say, if you're upset, say it directly. I'm willing to have that conversation. Or, if you don't want to help on this project, tell me plainly so I can plan around it. That line matters because it removes the excuse that they had no way to speak honestly. And if they stay vague, don't chase. Don't beg for clarity from someone committed to confusion. You say, I'm open to direct communication. I'm not going to keep guessing.
Now we tighten the boundary. The third move is to state the impact and the standard. You make it clear what doesn't work for you. You say, when you say it's fine but punish me afterward, that doesn't work for me. Or, when deadlines get missed after you've committed, I stop relying on your yes. Or, comments like that aren't welcome at this table. This is where people often get defensive. Wow, okay. You're making this serious. You're too sensitive. Stay steady. I'm being clear, not hostile. Then comes the fourth move. Set a consequence you can actually enforce. Not a threat, a consequence. You say, if you're upset about my plans, tell me directly. If the cold shoulder happens again, I'm stepping back until we can talk respectfully. Or, if deadlines are missed again, I'll reassign the work and stop putting your name on key deliverables. Or, if you make another comment like that about my relationship, I'm leaving dinner. That's what turns a boundary into reality. And if they push back, keep it short. You don't have to agree with my boundary. You do have to respect it. One more piece. Protect your own mental clarity. If you live or work with a passive-aggressive person, write things down. Save the email. Note the missed deadline. Remember the pattern. You're not building a legal case. You're protecting your grip on reality. And stop arguing about hidden intentions. Judge patterns by outcomes. That will save you a lot of wasted energy. Think about your own situation for a second. With a partner, the old move is chasing. Are you okay? Did I do something? Then you apologize for plans you were already honest about. The new move is calm. You told me it was fine to go, but you've been cold since I got back. If you're upset, say it directly. I'm open to hearing it. I'm not doing the guessing game. If she says nothing's wrong, you say, all right, when you want to talk directly, I'm available. At work, Ethan has a teammate who says he's totally supportive, then forgets every deliverable. Ethan used to cover the work and stew about it at home. Now he puts it in writing. You committed to sending the draft by Tuesday, and it didn't come through. If you can't take this on, tell me directly. I need a clear yes or no. If it's missed again, I'll move the task elsewhere. At dinner, your mother says, I'm sure your new girlfriend is wonderful for someone like you. The old move is the nervous laugh. Yeah, a lot of men know that move. The new move is, that didn't sound respectful. If you have a concern, say it plainly. If the comments keep coming, I'm going to end the dinner early. And if she says, I was giving you a compliment, you don't debate her soul. You say, I heard it differently. Either way, don't say that again. And that late friend? Same principle. You've been 30 to 45 minutes late several times. I'll wait 15 minutes, then I'm leaving. If we make plans, I need you to respect the time. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. What if they get angry? They might. Directness exposes a game that only works in confusion. Their anger does not mean your boundary is wrong. What if you lose the relationship? Then face that honestly. If the relationship depends on you tolerating covert hostility, you're not preserving closeness. You're preserving dysfunction. What if this feels selfish? No. Selfish is expecting people to read your mind, then punishing them when they can't. Clear communication is respect. What if you really are overreacting? Look for patterns, not one bad day. Passive aggression is repeated indirect hostility plus denial. That pattern matters. And what if they truly didn't mean it that way? Fine. You still address the impact. Maybe that wasn't your intention. I'm telling you how it came across, and I'm asking for directness going forward. That keeps you grounded. No fog, no guessing, no chasing. So remember this. Passive-aggressive behavior survives in vagueness, and your job is to bring clarity. Calmly name the behavior, invite directness, state the standard, and enforce a consequence. This is hard work, especially if you've spent years keeping peace by swallowing what you know is real. But every time you do this, you rebuild trust in your own perception. Pick one recurring pattern today. The size, the lateness, the jokes, the missed commitments. Write down one sentence you'll use next time, and then use it. If this hit home for you, subscribe so you catch the next one. And if you know a man who needs to hear this, share it with him. Stay clear, stay steady, and don't play games you never agreed to.